Greetings, adventurers. This is DM Kurt in my DM shirt. And so today is Tuesday. I'm going to record this video today and release it tomorrow after our session tonight. So tonight's session, I got my DM binder, and it is N1, Against the Cult of the Reptile God, from first edition. So I'm modifying this in a few ways. The most obvious way is the fact that I'm running it for a 5e group using 5e rules for all the monsters and whatnot. So where we left off, the party members were pretty much fully healed up, pretty much full on spells. They'd had one minor tangle, and they walked in the room. There's two figures. One is the evil priest that they'd tangled with before, and the other is a new undead humanoid figure, wearing ringmail, carrying a morning star. He pulls off a gold necklace off his neck, wraps it around his hand once, starts talking trash to the party, specifically the priest and the paladin. Now, holy types have special abilities for dealing with the undead, so the undead are probably going to have a little special dislike of the holy types, the clerics and paladins, etc. So, the undead is a white. Now, I like whites because, standard as is, they're CR3. But read their lore in the monster manual, and it'll tell you. They are intelligent. They retain their former memories of their previous lives. So this one is a former bandit. And I'm going to have a little bit of evidence of that in another room. He could have been a former mage, a former high-level fighter, a former priest of some evil god or something, and have those abilities. That's why it's a very versatile monster, because it says right up, hey, they could have any of their former memories, which means former skills to me. That's the way I read that. So the gold necklace chain type thing, that's a custom magic item I'm bringing in. It is the magic item Spellbreaker from the Vlad Teltos series by Stephen Brust, and what it's going to be able to do is the person who attunes to it can cast counterspell using this chain as a reaction. Now they can also cast spells on their normal turn action, but it doesn't have any charges. They have to do the counterspelling using their own spell slots, which means they're burning through spell slots real quick, or burn their hit dice, which means during short rests they're not going to have the hit dice to recuperate hit points. So I'm putting a resource management challenge into the hands of the players. Make them make a decision. So the priest, fairly tough. I'm planning on the white fighting to the death. I'm planning on the priest trying to retreat quickly and go get the Naga from the other room. Now the Naga, the players know there's a Naga nearby. They know they're going to have to fight it eventually. If they've been metagaming, if they're familiar with Nagas for 5e, they'll know that that's a CR8. They're not an 8th level party, but there's 6 of them, so What they don't know is that I'm not using the WotC Naga. I'm using Kobold Press Moonchild Naga, which is only a CR6, but it's a Kobold Press CR6, so it might hit like a 7 or an 8. That's 3 reasonably powerful opponents, except for the Naga's not going to be there in the first round or 2 of combat. The priest is not going to fight to the death. So it's going to be this rotation going on. Unless, of course, the party, which does have one person with Hold Person spell, manages to cast Hold Person on the priest, in which case he can't go get the Naga, or he can't escape. And I think they already know that the Hold Person doesn't work on the undead, and they may or may not use it. So we'll see how this goes tactically. This battle could, I don't think it's going to be a TPK. This could drop a few characters, which is okay. I don't really expect them to try to kill the party outright. You know, they hit 0 hit points. I don't know if I really am going to have, probably not the priest and probably not the Naga, attacking downed characters to force failed death saves to guarantee final death on a character. The white's nasty. He's mean. He would do it. But he's going to be there from round one, so he's probably going to be killed before he can do something that nasty. So we'll probably have a few characters hit 0 hit points, but manage to get stabilized afterwards. This should be a threatening fight, and it should be a difficult fight, but it should be winnable. After that, it's pretty much going to be wrap up. There are some troglodytes they might want to deal with. They don't have to deal with those troglodytes. With no leader, they're just going to do their normal little troggy thing, and they're not going to go 2-3 days walk to the village to go mess with the villagers. They're just going to stay in their own little swamp. They're going to want to investigate a little more. There are clues that they're going to find. And then they got to go check on the village. Did killing the Naga break the mass charm that was going on with the village? And why was a Naga who can only cast a little bit of charm ability able to basically charm an entire village? Well, there's a reason for that, and the party members will find that out. And then they're going to say, well, now where do we go with this? We got to deal with this situation because the thing supplying the Naga and the evil priest, that needs to be dealt with. Well, funny you should ask that. So we're done with this adventure. Let's put it to a vote. Do you guys want to go play Spelljammer? Because I have that. Do you guys want to follow this into the Underdark? I'm guaranteeing you it's going to go into the Underdark. I'm not telling them exactly that it's going to be Night Below, but it's going to be Night Below. Mostly. Or a third option. Third option is, tell me what you want to play. We wrap this up. We can do something different. I already had one vote from the Halfling Wizard. He said if we don't do the Underdark one, which I kind of want to do, he'd rather do the Colonial American thing that I did once before, but just kind of mix it up a little bit. That was a fun campaign, and I might do that. It was basically you land on the coastline. There's a little fort. There's an unexplored quasi island / continent-ish, but it's a big island. And there's various North American cryptids. And there's natives. And other things. So it's a very exploration-based thing. And there's some negotiation and diplomacy things going on in there. So maybe they might want to do that. So I'll put that up as a voting option. But anyway, yeah, that's what I got planned for tonight. Looking forward to it. I think the players are going to have a blast. I hope they are. And talk to you later. DM Kurt, out.